The first silverware of the season to be decided here tonight at the Orlando Stadium in Soweto. Welcome everyone. It's the MTN 8 final. The Montville Golden Arrows up against Ajax Cape Town. A winner will be decided here this evening. Ajax looking for a third cup trophy in what has been a short but glorious span for them. But for Golden Arrows, a very first appearance in a major cup final. And what a breakthrough from the side from KwaZulu-Natal, who've threatened so over the last couple of seasons. It's a magnificent sight. 8 million rand at stake for the winner tonight. The runner-up will get a paltry 10% thereof, 800,000. Lots of motivation for the players, and the trophy, of course, to be lifted at the end of what we expect will be a very entertaining and open and flowing football match as cup final football returns to the Orlando Stadium for the first time in a quarter century. Well, you can see the tension on the face of Joseph Musonda, the Zambian international, who's captaining this Arrows side this season. Arrows who eased their way through against Free State Stars and Amazulu in the double-legged semi-final. Ajax, of course, had a much tougher route, overcoming Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs on their way to the final. These two teams have had to wait an extra month for this final because of the fact that Ajax had so many players in the under-20 team which competed at the World Youth Championship in Egypt. But here we are, it's finally arrived, the MTN 8 final. Uyele Kubule will referee tonight. That's Lazarus Matella, the veteran linesman, who will be amongst the officials. Hans Vonk is the captain for Ajax. You can see Ivanovs behind, his first cup final in South African football. He's just arrived, as has the defender Deschamps. And these three players with European experience will also be able to contribute to tonight's game. There'll be a couple of youngsters in there as well. There's Ivanovs, he was suspended for the last game. Clifford Ngubeni was rested. He had 2 yellow cards. Ajax did not want to risk him in that game against Bloemfontein Celtic, as was the case with Selowani. And it's worked out well for them. Ngubeni and Selowani key tonight, Brian.
Key players. You're talking about experience, good passing, good engine. Clifford Ngubeni, obviously here, Soweto being his hometown, so it's more of a big occasion. You spoke about the likes of Dipsy Sululane, one of the best players, big engine as well. He's going to be playing a different role this time around, having to support Serrero, who's going to be playing as a lone striker for them.
So the tension is beginning to mount. Joseph Musonda there, the Zambian, who previously played with Free State Stars, been in this country now a good 5 years and hasn't had an opportunity to play in a match of this size. Martin Stecklenburg there, the Dutchman who's with the youth setup. This is Vladimir Vermasevich, the Kaizer Chiefs coach, his side beaten in the semi-final. You remember a great second leg here at the Orlando Stadium, these two sides playing out a 3-3 draw. How the pressure would have been lifted off him a little bit had Kaizer Chiefs been in tonight's game. However, that's not the case. It's Ajax and the Montville Golden Arrows. So the roses in the hands of the Ajax players, maybe trying to charm their opponents into being a little softer tonight. Will that work? We'll see as this game progresses. Daroca, the Brazilian's done well over the last season or two.
He's been a pillar of strength, Daroca. Last line of defense, he's going to be vital for the team. He's going to be under pressure from the pacey Ajax forward of Serrero.
Well, I don't think we've ever seen that before. Roses handed out by the opposing team. We were a long way off Valentine's Day, but Ajax greeting their supporters. Good turnout from the people of Cape Town, those who've come through on those buses. 10 of them making their way up the N1. It would have been a long journey, and should they lose tonight, it'll be a rather depressing trip back home. Of course, they'll be hoping for a celebration as well. And now the dignitaries making their way out, including His Worship the Mayor of Johannesburg. The match commissioner is Mr. Philip Masimola. He's going to introduce, first of all, Arrows. And we can have a look at now some of the key players. Brian Sangweni, of course, fresh from winning a second Bafana Cup in that game against Iceland. Didn't put a foot wrong in defence.
It's a big occasion for him. Last line of defence as well. So he's going to be key in terms of having to neutralize the pressure. His passing as well, converting his defensive abilities into offensive, very key.
It's a young Arrows side, of course, players who haven't enjoyed the spotlight that perhaps their contemporaries up in Gauteng have, but there's a respect around the PSL for this Arrows team. They're unpredictable. Sides don't like playing against them. They're some days really blow hot, some days a little cooler, but a side who everyone has big respect for amongst the PSL coaches and players.
On a good day, their passing game, their pace, it's so vital, something that a lot of fans have marveled at. Of course, for the team, it's just a question of the final product, and they would want to see a trophy going back to, or rather, going to KZN.
There's Gubeni, we've talked about him, of course. Lance Davids, his first South African Cup final. Samit Dutti, who played in the Under-20 Championships. Nazia Ali's already won 2 titles. He's only 25 years old. He was in the ABSA Cup winning side in 2007, the Telkom knockout in the last campaign. Franklin Kale as well. And Franklin Kale being shifted into a more defensive position tonight. Brett Evans not coming through the fitness tests, unable to play. So we might not see as much attacking invention from Kale in the beginning. And we'll see how that changes as this game turns around. Match of this nature, the formalities now completed with the Mayor Amos Mosondo, the marketing officer from MTN, Sarami Taukobong, and the general manager of the PSL, Mr. Shetel CM. So Arrows line up tonight, 3 changes from the side that drew with Bidvest Bits at the weekend. Baroka is back in goal in place of Kuzwayo. Zwane returns at fullback in place of Masinga, and Shange comes into the team ahead of the Zambian Francis Kombe. No place for Musa Bilankulu, still working his way back from injury. Not yet fully recovered. He did come on as a sub in the last game, but they're taking no chances on him. He will be on the bench for tonight's game. 3 changes as well for Ajax. As we said, Gubeni and Selowani were both rested for the win over Bloemfontein Celtic at Newlands. Ivanovs is back from suspension. He replaces the youngster Tsatswayo. Jenica and Sibisi are also not in the lineup today. Sibisi is suspended for tonight's game, and Jenica out with injury. Captain Brett Evans not making it either because of his injury. He's in the stands watching his teammates along with Leo Sibisi. So Golden Arrows, they were a founder member of the National Professional Soccer League back in 1971. They faded from view, returned some 8 seasons ago now, are a regular fixture in the PSL, and the side, of course, who now reached their very first cup final. Lots of supporters from the other clubs as well. A good night for South African football, and as we said, a crowd of some 18,000 on here at the Orlando Stadium. This will be the site, of course, of the Derby game next Saturday. Live coverage as well of that match on your World of Champions. So confirmation of our officials, Andrew Reeses and Lazarus Matella are the linesmen. Harry Lekatlani in picture is tonight's 4th official, all headed by Buyile Kubule, who comes from Uitenhage in Port Elizabeth. Now, Brian Mate has a look at the formations and the key men for tonight's game.
A big occasion for Mangoba Mngiti. He's put up a 4-4-2 formation, and he needs experience, character, and that, of course, at the back will be Joseph Musonda. His combination will be key. Ntantla Zotwani in the midfield. His passing, his running off the ball is going to be vital. So is Joseph Henyekani on the left-hand side, passing to Richard Henyekani. As we turn our focus, of course, to the Urban Warriors themselves, experienced team. But we have Hans Spong. It's a new set of central defenders, and his experience will be vital to guide the 2 central defenders. You talk about character, finishing. Dipsy Sululani brings that to Ajax. A guy that has got memorable, experience in this ground. Franklin Kale, he scored vital goals against Kaizer Chiefs. Can he do it this evening?
So the game is underway here at the Orlando Stadium. Ajax Cape Town defending the goal to the left-hand side. They have only won 2 of their last 10 matches against Golden Arrows. Last season, Arrows beat them 4-0 at home in Durban in the league and 1-0 in Cape Town, although Ajax did overcome them in the quarterfinal of the Telkom knockout, went on to win that competition. Serrero trying a little audacious chip from some way out. but he wasn't going to catch Daroka there.
It's good for the confidence. Cutting inside, of course, putting the goalkeeper off his post, tried to have an intelligent chip. Of course, he could not find the target, but the confidence should be high.
Now Sangweni. Musonda, of course, usually competes at fullback, with tonight being used in the central defence along with Sangweni. They'll presumably have some support from Zotwane tracking back as well. Possession turned over. This is Nhlanhla Shabalala. There was a chance he was going to play at fullback tonight, but they put Franklin Kale back in Brett Evans's place on the left-hand side. Nazir Ali, of course, on the right. When Ali was out injured, Nhlanhla Shabalala played in his place at right back, but is in the heart of midfield. It's a strong midfield with Davids and Shabalala bringing the bites, as it were, and Ngobeni, the playmaking aspect of the game.
What they've also done is to have Lance David and Shabalala playing in this central defense, in the central midfield, and they've pushed Ngobeni and Dipso Sululane up front. They're using Tulani Serrero to play as a winger, with Clinton Cale playing as a left back, so that balance is there, but it's a question of the combination working for Ajax.
Hans Vonk gets his first touch of the game. Frenchman Deschamps, only his 5th start since joining Ajax. He is preferred to Hlatswayo in tonight's team. It would have been a tough choice for young trainer, I fancy, between Deschamps and Hlatswayo. Perhaps just the experience of Deschamps over the young South African under-20 international made the final choice. It'll be a bit of a heartbreak for young Thulani Hlatswayo, because he's also hardly put a foot wrong. He was our man of the match on Sunday against Bloemfontein Celtic. First corner is conceded by Deschamps, keeping a close eye on the danger man Richard Henyakane, and Arrows win the first set piece of the night.
Quality defending, did not go for a slide tackle, just went for safety.
He was a junior with AC Milan in his teenage years, Deschamps. Last played in the Spanish 2nd division. Now Ngobeni looks to come away with it. Shange looking to play it now. Henyakane goes wide to Musonda. He's going to drive it with that left foot of his, and wide of goal. So Mangoba Mwiti always has a little bit of a scowl on his face during the games, a picture of study and concentration.
Well, that's the qualities that he brings in. Not only is he a quality defender, but his ability to go forward and get some vital goals for Arrows. That's Musonda.
These two sides are going to be meeting next weekend in the league as well. Arrows play here, by the way, on Wednesday against Kaizer Chiefs, and then down to play Ajax. Ajax play Swallows at home on Wednesday. Now Uboni in the middle. Zwane. There's Ivanov's getting the first challenge in. Came off Serrero, though. It'll be a throw-in for Arrows.
It's going to be a tactical game, particularly in the midfield. We're going to try and cancel each other out. Not enough spaces. If you look at the approach from Ajax, they're putting pressure on Arrows whenever they've got the ball in their own half.
Cross is cleared by Deschamps, where perhaps there was a call from the keeper. That's a little sign of nerves there, Brian Marte.
You're right. I mean, if you look at this ball, it's a tricky ball. You would have thought that Hans Vonk would have been loud enough, but wasn't to be. It's a question of going for safety first.
So second corner of the game already for Arrows inside the opening 5 minutes. And Musonda with that left foot will look to curl it in. Shange now just trying to draw a defender or two out of that zone. Missed by Davids, and he has a chance. The shot, good save by Vonk. That's a great save to deny Henyakane. Excellent stop by the keeper.
Superb stop. That's where experience comes to the fore. Poor defending from Ajax, but the last line of defense. And that takes Hans Vonk to bring up that fine save from Richard Henyakane.
Well, they were a bit sloppy in clearing that corner. Ajax almost paid the price. Now Now Musonda. Challenge by Samik Guti. It's a long throw from Musonda again. Pressure now, and eventually a relieving whistle from Mr. Kubule.
Look at the power. Difficult one, of course, going through a cluster of defenders. And some fine goalkeeping from Hans Vonk.
Well, he really blasted that in, Henyakani. He's got such a nose for goal, was perfectly positioned on target as well, and Ivanov's cleaned it up after Vonk had made a great save.
He's got great technique. Kept his head on the ground. There his eyes.
Now, Richard Henyakani trying to set Montana away, but he was offside.
Also have to marvel the strength that Arrows has on the left-hand side. Zubugile Tom combining with Joseph Henyakani.
Now Musonda. Tilani Shange on the right-hand side came on as a sub in that 3-3 draw against Wits at the weekend. And Franklin Kale playing a lot deeper than we're used to. Makeshift tonight in place of Brett Evans, who's out, and of course Jenica, his normal understudy, also got injured at the weekend. Now Samik Duti, first strong run from him. He's up against Tom. He's a tough defender, recently back from injury, and that'll go harmlessly away for a goal kick.
Strength for strength. I thought Samik Duti did well. Body checked, and Zuvugile Tong is the final delivery in terms of the cross. The responsibility is on him this evening, because Franklin Kale is not going to have the luxuries of going forward as often to play the crosses. And Samik Duti hasn't done that well in terms of delivering a quality cross.
Tonight we haven't seen Mato Maglala, the chairperson of this club. Always a little weary of watching our own team live in action. Says it's far too nerve-wracking. And Vonk now in trouble, and they've scored! Stuck away! Montana has the opener, and Arrows have profited from a mistake at the back by Ajax Cape Town.
We did mention the weak link, the two central defenders, and they were unlocked by a quality pass. The goalkeeper tried to come out, but look at this long ball from Mzuvugile Tom. Poor defense, the goalkeeper came out, but the pace of the ball beats him. But look at the finishing. It's a difficult ball because it takes some swift finishing as well. And that's the qualities, that's the determination to want it. Kept his eyes on the ball, under pressure, great technique. It's a fine goal.
And what a goal too for Montana, who in his first 4 seasons at Arrows didn't manage a single goal. This is his 3rd of the current campaign, and he's got Arrows ahead by 1-0. Perfect start for the side from KwaZulu-Natal. That'll settle the nerves as well. Ajax paying the price at the back.
They were unlocked by a long ball, and it's just a question of positioning as well. They couldn't get it right.
Now Tom trying to set Henyakani away.
And the pressure they're going to have is that Arrows are playing with 2 strikers, and they're all on Ivanov and Deschamps. As a result, there's no space to have a last man or a sweeper.
Sangweni. Now let's see what Shabalala can conjure up. There's a bit of a run as well from Gobeni. That's floated back into that penalty area, more in hope than anything else. And Shabalala acknowledges as much.
The best of deliveries. They're going to have it quite tough. Dipsy Sululane to unlock that strong defense of Musonda and Sangweni.
So Arrows deserved of that goal. They were dominating the early possession. Now Sangweni has given away a free kick on the edge of his area with what looks like a handball.
Definite handball.
Referee was a fair way off the play but had no hesitation, and this is a rather rudimentary error from a player with the praise ringing in his ears after his recent Bafana performance. He might well have given Ajax a great opportunity here for a quick equaliser.
It's in the territory where Franklin Kale technique, powerful shooting.
Fred Evans would have liked to have been on the pitch now for this opportunity. Kale to take it, blasted it, goal! It's got the deflection and it goes away for a corner.
Didn't go for a Kela, went for power. Bit of a deflection. Some anticipation from the technical committee to expect a goal.
Young Crane on the left, and Wilfred McGay, of course, that great Zimbabwean goal-scoring machine, is the assistant coach. Kale takes us to the back post, header! Oh, it's tripped over the top. Serrero barely got, or Shabalala rather, barely got his head to it. It was coming at such pace, he was leaning back there, but he got it on target and he forced a great save out of the Brazilian goalkeeper.
Did well. I mean, if you look at the pace, the power behind the ball, the technique as well, kept it within, target.
Second corner for Ajax, chance at the back post for Deschamps. Again, Arrows not looking too convincing in defending that set piece. And Kale will take this throw-in. He looks for Ivanovs. Too much on it, in fact, for his own teammates. Nazir Ali is going to be taking no chances here. This will go back to Hans Vonk. Straight upfield. Selawani putting a bit of pressure on Sangweni. This is Joseph Henyakani, turned 25 earlier this week. He's the younger of the two brothers. And here's the other one, floating away, unmarked, Richard Henyakani, chance for a second! He's gone wide of the target.
He should be disappointed with that finishing. Once more, they've managed to unlock that central defense. Poor marking, you could expect it because it was a set piece and Franklin Kale was still trying to recover, and they played it just behind him. Look at this long ball. It's a long ball. Look at the marking as well. Poor marking, there's no Franklin Kale, and he gets the time, Richard Henyakani. So much time, it's just the finishing. That wasn't good enough for a player of his qualities. He should have done better.
Kale, of course, had just taken that throw-in minutes earlier, was making his way across on the right-hand side to the left. Not usually a left back, and concentration might have lapsed there as well.
And then you start asking questions, Mark. Whilst Franklin Kale was up front, you've got to be able to defend properly. You've got to have numbers to be able to cover in those type of positions. It was totally impossible for him to run from, this side to the other end.
So free kick opportunity here. Kale will blast it in again. It got a little touch off the head of Joseph Henyakani, away for a throw-in over on that far side. Again, Kale will come across from right to left to take it. This is Deschamps making his way back to support Nazir Ali as the two lone defenders. Ajax pushing numbers forward. Ntlanhla Shabalala finds Serrero. Runs into traffic in that penalty area. Now Ngobeni. And Kale again. Left-footed cross. Too much on that one.
Overcooked from Franklin Kale. Well, Arrows have got the aerial presence. One thing that still doesn't convince, it's the clearance of these balls that are pinned in inside the 18 area.
So the two coaches both have the tension of the occasion written across their faces. Musonda, Zokwane now putting a bit of pressure here on Sangweni. You can see Musonda's natural inclination to drift out wide to that fullback position where he usually operates. He's supposed to be a central defender tonight along with Sangweni. Ivanovs clears up to Serrero. It's a nice little clearance to turn Ajax onto the attack. Serrero slipping. Remember, there was rain around Gauteng earlier on today. Davids to Shabalala, the two tough men in the middle of the park. Now Samik Dutti. Nazir Ali. Davids again. Pass is cut out in the middle by Kuboni. And away goes Henyakani. Look at the pace of the man. Full of confidence, of course. Prepared to take on Ivanovs, looking to get it square. Zotwani had made his way into the penalty area. Now Ivanovs clears.
That's a great technique, Mark. Sorry, to clear the ball. Kept it high, allowed the defenders to push up.
Joseph Henyakani shifting onto this left-hand side. Montana now looking to turn, the goal scorer. Good morning. Zotwani getting it wide. Happy to keep possession at this stage are Golden Arrows, just looking for that one killer pass to unlock that Ajax defence. And they're unlucky for Shange as the ball took a little bit of a skid off this surface.
And the beauty about it is that the build-up from the back from Arrows, it's quite slow, but the acceleration up front, when they change it, you can see the pace, you can see the strikers giving options to the midfielders.
So one goal already in this game. Arrows looking for a second. David's stripped of possession. Wins it back though. Here's Ngobeni, who needs to put a stamp of authority on this game. Sorero out wide on the left. He's going to be taking on the defender Zwane. Cover provided by Musonda.
He'll be forced from time to time to cut inside. Sorero is not a natural left-footed player. No one will be playing just behind the strikers.
Nazir Ali. Too long for Shabalala.
He's not going to have the luxuries of going forward. Nazir Ali, he's been put under pressure by Joseph Henyakani on the left-hand side. It will also be risky because the two central defenders are pretty much suspect for Ajax.
Lots of discussion on that bench, looking to work their way back into the game. Coming up towards the 20-minute mark here at the Orlando Stadium. The MTN 8 final tonight. Arrows 1, Ajax 0. That goal coming after 9 minutes. There are patches on this overworked pitch where the ball does bounce up a little dangerously, and they're almost turned over. Boni offering Ajax a way through. Chases on here down the flank. Shange is going to give away the goal kick.
Credit the effort, he made the run, perhaps overhit by Musonda, and tried to keep it in play.
Forward from Hans Fonk. And Zotwani combining in the middle. Now the goal scorer, Montana. Offside flags up. The referee says play on. Chance here for Arrows now. Onto the edge of the area. Henyakani. Tom with a chance. Oh, it's an own goal. It comes off Ivanovs. That shot was actually shanked by Tom. But Arrows have taken a further step closer to the MTN 8 trophy. They've got a second goal. Again the quick counter, again the pressure on the edge of the area. And Denis Ivanovs steers it into the back of his own net.
Duelos going to be put under pressure. It's a move that started on the right-hand side. At some point, there was almost possibilities of an offside, but it wasn't going to be offside. But look at this defending here, not sure of what they're doing, and it's this powerful shot from Zuvugile Tom, and it takes a bit of a deflection. That's a typical ball played in between the defender and the goalkeeper. Perhaps he wanted to go for glory, but that deflection made such a huge difference. It was a difficult one for Ivanov, but he had to commit somehow, and it led to an own goal.
Well, Tom would like to claim it, but you can see clearly his shot was going to be off target, steered into the back of the net by Ivanov's. And that's the reaction off the bench. Arrows lead here by 2-0 against Ajax Cape Town, and we've had 20 minutes of the MTN 8 final. Well, Brian, the question now is, how do you fight back 2 goals down after 20 minutes?
What you have to do, basically, what they haven't done is to keep the ball, knock the ball. You get the likes of Ngobeni to come into the game. You like Ntanta, Shabalala as well to get into the game. We haven't seen Dipsy Susulorani, and that's been the difference, because Arrows have dominated that middle field, and you can see the passing game slowing things down, the acceleration when they get into the Ajax half. And for Ajax, they've got to try and play the patient game, knock the ball, get the confidence right, pinning the crosses. We haven't seen the crosses from Samet Tutu and Sorero as well.
Kale to take it. It's a dangerous one. Up in the air goes Musonda. Shabalala challenging there. Clearance away from Tom. There's no one up front for Arrows. Nazir Ali now. Deschamps, these Ajax players are on half the pot to win tonight. 4 million to be shared amongst the players should they come away with the trophy. Remember, 8 million for the winning side, only 800,000 for the runner-up. Have to put some effort together now if they're going to fight their way back in the game. It's been Arrows deservedly ahead. Nazir Ali knocked that off Henya Kani. He'll claim the throw-in.
Using space for Samir Tuti to maneuver and play those crosses.
Referee plays on. This is Zotwani. Now Henya Kani goes off on the run. He was onside as well. Excellent start from Henya Kani. He's not much in the way of support. Now back to Mankana. And Shange in there as well. The pressure on Hans Fonk. Throw in to Arrows. So every time that ball comes in, that quick set off from Arrows, suddenly panic besets this Ajax side.
His game plan is working. The acceleration in the opposition half. Concentrate your moves on the right-hand side. Franklin Kale is not a defender, and that's what they're doing. They're playing all of those crosses, and Richard Henekani making those intelligent runs on the right-hand side.
Musonda has got this long throw, dangerous one as well, but referees decided there was some impeding there, or in fact a foul throw, so Nazir Ali will take it for Ajax. Hans Davids up to Frantla Shabalala. You'll be looking for Selawani, who beats Musonda in the air. Back to Davids. Now can they find Sorero? Cut out by Musonda.
It's going to be a frustrating evening for Dipsy Sululani, playing with his back against the post. That's not the familiar role that he's normally would be playing.
Now let's see what Gubeni can do. Little ball inside here for Sorero. And the big clearance from Sangweni.
In control, making all the decisive decisions.
Gubeni. Sorero. I don't think was expecting the pass.
I think they're a bit hasty in terms of passing the ball. They should keep it more, get economic, not giving it away so easily.
Ajax are the better of the possession over the last 5 minutes, but overall Arrows still dominating. 2 goals to the good as well. And we are just 25 minutes into this cup final game here at the Orlando Stadium. Remember, we must have a winner here tonight. Again, Henyakani behind the defense. Shot from a tight angle. Once more, they breach the Ajax back four.
One thing that he should be disappointed on, he makes all these runs, he gets the deliveries, and I think he should do better at some point. Didn't need power. Perhaps just try and play it over the keeper, but he still had two options with his teammates on the left-hand side, Joseph Henyakani and Mangana drifting to the left-hand side.
Gobeni unable to steal that away from Shange, who plays it looking for Mangana here. This is gone.
Good position, is a foul. A push on Hisham. Not too happy, of course, with Mangana. He looks more relieved now.
Well, 2 goals to the good. You'd think that Coach Mniki might give us a smile. Long way to go. Oh, you remember the Confederations Cup at Ellis Park not so long ago. USA leading Brazil by 2 goals to 0. What happened there? That might give the Ajax fans a little hope. Their side haven't looked like Brazil tonight, that's for sure.
Well, you need to have character. You need players that will bring out that character, that determination, the will to win. They call it the Wafa Wafa, the last man standing.
Musonda. Just Henyakani up front on that occasion, not prepared to chase after that cause. Now Deschamps. There's not enough running off the ball up front for Ajax. Sangweni's header, here's Davids. Nazir Ali brought into the picture. Gets past one challenge, but good defending from Tom, who stood his ground.
That's good cover from Zovuvila Tom.
Samik Dutti, fairly anonymous so far in this game. Now Henyakani younger to Henyakani older. Font gets there first.
He had to come out. Once more they've managed to unlock that defense. They switched play now, concentrating it on the left-hand side.
Chin up, says the skipper. Long way to go still in this game. Hans Vonk played in the Dutch Cup final last season for Heerenveen. They won that competition. It was against Twente, the side coached by the former England manager Steve McLaren, where Bernard Parker now plays. Now Kale. I think they're going to do something with that left-hand side you fancy at half-time, Brian. Maybe push Kale a little further forward so that his attacking acumen will help them. They can ill afford to have a player of his caliber stuck at left-back when you're 2-0 down.
You need him to push forward. You need him to pin in those crosses. And he's got that ability. But now to get him to move from left-back to go forward and play those crosses, they still have to track back into defense. It's not going to help their cause.
Silawani trying to turn his way past Musonda, the Botswana international, up against the Zambian. So we're coming up towards the half-hour mark. Well, the Arrows fans, understandably, singing and dancing in the stands there. So there's Jairo Leal and Pitso Mosamani, the assistants for the national team. Back live again here with Ajax as Shabalala seeks to force an opportunity. Henyakani comes away with it. Another quick counter. Richard Henyakani up against Nazir Ali, who runs into him and takes the ball away. It'll be a throw into Arrows.
Good defending. Did not commit to a tackle. Stuck his ground. Well, that's what you need. against the pacey Richard Henyakane.
Kaiser Mutong and Erwin Koza. John Committees, of course, who will be burning up inside now with his side 2-0 down. And Mr. Lipile Tauniane, the honorary chairman of the PSL, former chairman. So the bold and the beautiful in the house tonight as well, Brian.
Come out in numbers. A historic occasion, of course, hosting the final of the MTN 8 here in the Township, Orlando Stadium.
Shabalala, Ali, Gubene.
You look at the role that Lance Davids is playing. Normally it would be Gubene playing it. He's got a good view of the play if he's playing in that role where Lance Davids is playing. But this evening he's forced to join in the attack.
Yes, Selawani now on the edge of the area, left-footed shots. Well, again, a little bit uncomfortable in defence at times, Golden Arrows, and the pressure from Ajax there forcing the possession.
That's good skill under pressure, of course. He had to try and get something out of that. Well, that's his strength, attacking players.
So around about an hour left in this game, if you add in all the extra time that we expect to be added on. Here's Henyakane. Flag is up for offside. Kale takes it. Gobeni. Referee says, let's get on with the game. Shabalala now. Good challenge from Zotwani. A legal one as well, says Mr. Kobule. Shange. I think they're running on the overlap of Zwane. He's got to be careful not to go offside. Flag stays down. Now, what's Zwane going to do? Whips it across. Ooh, and Ivanovs wasn't going to go for any fancy clearance there.
They had to vary it. They didn't play it aerially, played it hard. And that's the sort of depth they have and the variations they have in terms of playing their crosses.
First season in South Africa for Dennis Ivanovs, the Latvian international. He's going to be a big star. He's a quality defender, but how unfortunate for him to have given away that own goal. The second one for Arrows. Now Selawani. Kale.
You can tell that a bit low on confidence. Ajax, Hans Vonk playing a long ball. It's more of a route wide situation, and that's not their game. Playing more of a passing game, but I'm not enjoying that this evening. Arrows dominating the middle.
Seems as if most of the neutrals here tonight are backing Golden Arrows. They would be a little bit of the underdogs tonight.
I think you're right. I think there's a grudge. If you look at Ajax, they've beaten Pirates and Chiefs, so you'd expect even this Pirates or loyal Pirates supporter coming out to support Golden Arrows.
Touch of revenge, perhaps. Miti really wants a bit of fire from his side. They were really dominating. They've seemed to have gone off the ball over the last 10 minutes. He's picked that up and he's really animated on the side of the pitch. It's those kind of mistakes that'll make him angry. Shange not aware of Sorero behind him. Now Kale. Cross into the middle, though, is a rather dibbly-dobbly ball. It's dealt with comfortably by Musonda. Here's Kale again. And this time, the challenge from Shange.
You would understand the concern from Mangola, because a goal from Ajax will actually get them back into the game. And they've had a few chances with Richard Henyakane breaking on the right-hand side, but not capitalizing on that advantage that he's got.
Well, the referee got involved, and Ivanovs' pass up front didn't find anyone.
This is the Yuma in it. He's a player too, according to the rules.
Well, we saw the referee get involved as well, in the way rather, at the weekend. Seems to be a bit of a friction at the moment. Young Plain making notes on the bench. Not enough running tonight from Samik Duti on the right. And Arrows fans are celebrating, maybe a little prematurely, but 2 goals to the good with 10 minutes to go to half-time. They are entitled to be showing their delight at this stage of the MTN 8 Cup final. Henyakani will take it. Sangweni goes up in the air. Now the whistle's gone. Arrows conceded a foul. Not too sure what it was, but doesn't seem to match in the way of complaint. See if you can pick it up there, Brian.
Well, it's an in swing. That's a
climbing on top of Franklin Cale, I think, is the decision.
I'm not convinced that Sangweni climbed on top of Franklin Cale.
Amazingly, Ajax have just committed 1 foul, given they've got Davids and Shabalala as the hitmen in the middle of the park. Haven't been able to catch Arrows, perhaps, is one way of looking at that statistic.
Well, if you look at the passes, they've played some long passes on the right-hand side, tried to cancel out this midfield. They haven't been put under that much pressure, apart from when Arrows themselves have got the ball.
Now Duty, and again disappointment for him. He's a young player who needs to get in this game, but all the kudos at the moment are with Golden Arrows. Ali climbing on top of Joseph Henyakani. Free kick. Oh, we know where you're going to be at half-time, Brian.
And it's called the beautiful game, Mark. That's a phrase coined by Pelé, and we've got to have all the ingredients to justify that. We saw the flowers. I suppose the flowers were meant for the Lakers.
Now let's see what Zwane can do. Teasing his way into the edge of the area. Left-footed shot. Oh, they've got so much progress, Arrows. It's almost as if Ajax backing off, allowing them to take those efforts.
It's the space that they find on the right-hand side. We saw Zwane now making a quality run. Great skill that is shown as a defender, cutting inside and managing to get a shot. Just couldn't find it on target.
Shange will keep this in play. Zotwane gets past Gubeni. Lovely ball for Henyakani. He's got the pace. Saved by Funk. It'll be cleared by Deschamps. Another quick strike, almost like a snake in the grass. Arrows in this game. Lovely ball in. Great pace from Henyakani. And Hans Funk had to make a very good save.
He had it right. He timed his run. The technique was great. Of course, it takes experience. Look at the quality ball that was played for him. Look at how he timed his run. Under pressure, did well. Hans Funk, of course, an experienced goalkeeper, and all he had to do, he had to put his body on the line, making it difficult for Richard Henyakani, but perhaps a chip would have made a huge difference.
So Henyakani's had chances. He's been the most dangerous player tonight. Nothing to his name, but certainly so far a dominant performance up front with his pace and his pressure. You see, Bloemfontein Celtic's Buerta has really turned into a professional supporter these days. He hardly misses a game.
He's got a budget for traveling as well.
Nazir Ali. Duti's back on the pitch. He claimed to have got an off-the-ball knock from one of the Arrows players. Duti now looking for Selowani. Challenge from Sangweni. Duti with an illegal challenge. His studs were showing on Sangweni. He's lucky to get away with that. In fact, the whistle went a little earlier for this challenge on Selowani, which perhaps might be perceived as a bit of a generous decision in favour of Ajax. Final 5 minutes of this first half. This is The one time now where Arrows look a little shaky as the set piece comes in. Drifted in the header. Well, it'll go away off Serrero and or Shabalala rather, and for a goal kick.
You did mention that they might be having the aerial presence at the back, Arrows, but they're not convincing when it comes to carrying those balls. And once more, an in-swing from Franklin Cale didn't look convincing at all.
Deschamps. Serrero nicks it away there, and he'll get past the challenge of Kobone and win the free kick. Now that might be in Franklin Cale territory.
Well, you're right. He's going for it.
This is a vital period of play now, just before the half-time break for both sides, because if Ajax can get a goal back now, they'll certainly lift their morale and take a more positive attitude into the half-time break. Arrows will move from a front foot position to a back foot position. Goalkeeper Daroka with the kick from Cale straight into the wall. Disappointing one.
Disappointing, but that wall as well wasn't that solid. I thought they should have done better. And he chose to go for power. Maybe a call on that ball.
Oh, Shabalala. Gobeni. Ivanovs. That might taken away by Henyakane. In fact, the two brothers beaten eventually by Nazir Ali. Now he fails to look up and notice that Gobeni was in good space. It allows Arrows to get players back behind the ball. Tom is the defender. Ali looking to force something here. Gets the cross in, and Musonda will turn that away for a corner.
Did well, Nazir Ali. Quick thinking, not quick 10. Great skill that he's shown.
Another corner.
That's good pressure from Ajax. Once more, it's a set piece. And they've looked promising from time to time when they played them hard in that 18 area.
2 minutes per stoppage time remains. Cale to take another set piece. Ajax with men forward, looking for the equalizer. Everybody missed that one, including the goalkeeper. Anxious moments for Arrows. Now Shabalala. Gobeni, they're being forced back here. David's in the middle. That's a good ball, but just hit with a little too much power for Selowani.
We might not have been exposed to their quality passing game, Ajax, but they looked pretty much effective with those set pieces. Just a question of finishing. And Arrows looking all suspect at the back.
So Jontain will have some talking to do at half-time. Delani Shange. Under some pressure again. Sangweni. Ajax realise that they need to get this ball forward and try and cause some more mayhem in that Arrows defence. Sangweni going up with Selowani. Now Serrero, Davids. Nice pass to Serrero. First touch into Selowani. The clearance from Sangweni. Will take that throw in. No, it'll go Arrows' way.
You would have noticed that from the Ajax side they haven't started their moves from the back. Maybe it's a sign that Hans Volk himself hasn't got that much confidence with the acts of Deschamps and Ivanov to build up from the back. So he's chosen to go route one, plate into the opposition half.
Foul by Ivanovs. No yellows in this game so far. It's been played in a good spirit, and Mr. Kubule says that's the end of the first half. So 2 goals from Golden Arrows in the first 45 minutes. Mankana after 9 minutes, an own goal from Ivanovs in the 21st. And it's Golden Arrows who have that 2-goal cushion now going into half-time here at the MTN 8 final. It's been a fabulous performance from Arrows. They've caught Ajax with a couple of sucker punches. And Brett Evans, the captain out for today's game, can only but ponder. It's Golden Arrows leading Ajax by 2-0 in the MTN 8 final, live from Orlando. So welcome back. The Orlando Stadium ready to rock and roll again. The second half of the MTN 8 final has been delayed, but now the action will begin. It's Arrows who lead Ajax by 2-0. Welcome back after the lengthy break for the lights here at the Orlando Stadium. Ajax to get the second half underway. They were about to kick off when the lights went out last time. Changes with Vilakazi and Alexander on for Serrero and Ngobeni, all to play for as Mr. Uyele Kubule has a look at his watch, and the second half underway. So Ajax attacking the goal to the left-hand side. Arrows in the yellow and green are defending the goal on the left and defending a 2-goal lead as well here in the second half. Alexander almost immediately into play. He'll be operating on that right-hand side with Samik Duty and Nazir Ali. Plenty of pace up there. They might be using that as their main forum to launch attacks, but almost immediately Arrows looking for another one of those quick counters. Shabalala in some trouble here with Shange. Referee allows play to continue. Ivanovs will give Hans Fonk an early touch here at the start of the second half.
Shabalala is going to need some support from Ivanov and Franklin Kale. He's not a natural left-footed player, so when he's going to be put under pressure by Fulani Shange, he will need that support, and the runs as well that's going to be made by Richard Henyekani. He's more the weak link as well for Ajax at the back.
No ball into the middle yet for Vilakazi. Here is Cole Alexander. He's got support from Duty. Ball inside again. A lot quicker Ajax now. But here comes that counter, and the pace of Henyekani, and out wide as well, Mankana. Now Henyekani waits in the middle, he rushes in, he's gone into an offside position, forcing the strike from a tight angle. It wasn't a very good shot in the end. But once more, Brian, this is what you were talking about, as Ajax press forward, looking to fight their way back into the game. They're going to leave these gaps for Arrows to exploit.
Certainly are. If you look at the runs that they've made, now they're putting pressure on Nazir Ali, playing it on the far side, the left-hand side, where Nazir Ali is going to be put under so much pressure.
Kale is the key man, of course, on the left-hand side for Ajax, and his strong ability to whip those crosses in.
Well, his presence is going to neutralize movements of Zwane going forward. But, they still have Fulani Shange, and they still have Joseph Henyekani to continue surging forward.
Musonda, the captain tonight. Flick on by Henyekani, but Ajax have the throw in. Desperate now to get this forward into the Arrows half. Kale up to Selowani. Kale continues. He's got Alexander alongside him. He's going to go for a long-range shot. On target as well to Testaroka. And the first effort of the second half comes from Ajax.
Positive start. That's his strength. Cutting inside, showing us his abilities on the right-hand side. Taking that shot. Not the most powerful of shots, but look at his technique here. Right foot, kept it on the ground. Takes a bit of a bounce, but Daroha well positioned.
Good ball from Davids, which set Duty away, but he was unable to get the cross in. Sangweni will clear, and again behind the defence, Mankana. Now it's a tight angle on goal, but he's going directly. Fonk gets the touch, Henyekani gets the third one, and Arrows now on their way surely to the MTN 8 final. The pace of the team from Durban catching Ajax again.
Finally, it happens for Richard Henyekani. It looked like an easy tap, but I'll tell you, the runs that are made now, we did mention that they're going to make the breaks on the right-hand side where Nazir Ali has been operating, and it's the combination of Mangana together with Richard Tenekanya that pays off in the end. They got exposed because they were desperate to get an early goal, Ajax, but they opened themselves up for the runs that were made. Look at this long ball, and now it results into a goal. It's a great run. Mangana, great composure. Look at the shot. Not the convincing of goalkeeping from Hans Fong. It needed a touch, but the persistent running, quality ball from Sangweni. Look at the run. You look at Ivanov together with Tikamp, not well positioned, and a tap from Richard Henyakane. He needed that, and they needed that as a team to consolidate their lead.
So Richard Henyakane has the third goal. Arrows lead Ajax by 3-0 in the MTN 8 final. Makes you think back of that. I think it was Kaiser Chiefs beat Cosmos once by 5. What was the old Coca-Cola Cup, I think.
That's one of the best games for Javu Ule then, because he had a great game in that afternoon. But it's a game plan that Mangoba Mneti took time to assess this Ajax team. He knew the qualities or the strength of going forward, but he was also saying that whilst they're good at going forward, they are likely to expose themselves at the back, and we are likely to punish based on that loophole, and they've done that. You look at the first half, they scored from the right-hand side, and this time around a bit of a variation, scoring from the left-hand side.
Yeah, Selwani now up against Musonda, crossing to the middle, looking for Vilakazi. Kale didn't read that ball as it was coming through. Just not on song tonight. It's a glum face for Jan Train, but his side have been caught for pure pace at the back.
Again, Mark, if you look at Franklin Kale, the amount of ground that he had to cover in the first half doing some defensive work, and now he's required to play as his natural position going forward. Perhaps too much to ask.
Vilakazi attempting to throw his weight around there in the penalty area. Yet to get any decent service so far in this game. So it looks pretty much game done and dusted with a good 40 minutes or so left in the second half. Killer punch really from Golden Arrows. Now Dutti. Vilakazi forced out wide to try and get some possession. Another flick on offside. No, the flag was up from Mr. Riazes. It would have been a tight decision. Henyakane is so quick off the mark.
He has been spot on in the first half, timed his runs. As we say it again, I think slightly offside, Richard Henyakane.
Now here is Franklin Kale to the byline. Cut out by Musonda. Shange down the line, onside again, good running. Ankana, Henyakane going into the near post, gets the shot in. Well, they can do hardly anything wrong in attack, Arrows.
It's a partnership that's working. You look at this run here, well timed this time around. Look at Mangana, he looks up, he drifts back, but he comes back in front of Ivanov, gets a touch on the ball, but not enough power. They're not going to give up. They won the fourth goal. They're on fire. The combination is working. The supply from the defenders and the midfielders, it's working for Richard Henyakane and Mangana. This man here has got his work cut out, not giving him any chance. Musonda and Sangweni.
Ajax throw in on the far side, taken by Nazir Ali. There's the Ajax management. John Komitas on the right, his brother George on the left, Louis Faria as well. A couple of glum faces, understandably so. Lance Davids finds Franklin Kale. Good challenge from Musonda. No way through for Kale. Shabalala. Selowani slipped. Now Vilakazi will put a bit of pressure here on Zwane, but he did well. And Musonda drives it forward again. Davids. Hans Vonk will come into play as the sweeper. He's going to play it in search of Vilakazi up front. Sangweni's header will find Kale. Looking for a way to shoot from that distance. Davids to Cole Alexander. Busy looking player. Space for Ali. And that's a good block from Joseph Henyakane. Now Deschamps. They're going to have to all push forward. Cole Alexander once more. Deschamps keeps running. Well, the Frenchman would have been offside. Duty takes it away. Cole. Henyakane stays down. Ajax are going to carry on playing. And now finally Kuboni knocks it away. So Joseph Henyakane is the player who's down.
Kick from the back, strong challenge on him.
Now let's just have a look again at Henyakane's goal. Richard Henyakane, the pace from the angle behind the goal. The ball from Sangweni, Mankana, little hand out there from Hans Vonk, but he had the pace to get the better of Ivanovs, did Richard Henyakane, and adds a third now to the tally that Arrows have assembled here this evening. Well, those are Roger Miller type celebrations at the corner flag.
He was shown the clip, I suppose, of the great man himself.
Joseph Henyakane is about to come back on again, having completed his treatment on the side of the pitch. There he is standing by, still waiting for a call from the referee. In the meantime, Ajax looking for a gap here. Vilakazi. Kale. Really need to dig deep now, and it would be a miraculous comeback. No way through for Franklin Kale. The options he's been taking so far in the second half haven't worked. Ivanovs with the interception. Shabalala. He keeps going. Shange played the interference, but the referee says it was a foul. Shabalala looked to run out of turf there and lost possession.
I think he was lucky. Not enough contact to warrant that. He had lost the ball and he had an option to play it onto Franklin Kale, but chose to drift inside.
Shot from Cole Alexander is blocked. There'll be some desperate shooting, one fancies, from Ajax. Lance Davids battling away. Now Shange.
I can tell you, give this game until 10 minutes, you'll see the best in the skill of this young man. I think he's been a bit quiet, kept it very simple.
Already they must be warming up in Lamontful Umlazi area for celebrations tonight.
I'm sure they are. It looks like it. 3-0 up, still looking solid, with a possibility, of course, of getting a fourth goal.
Davids. Vilakazi got a little touch on Selawani. He goes for goal. Well, if they're going to fight their way back, they've got to get them on target.
Definitely have to get them on target. The space was there. It came on his the chocolate foot. Tried to chip it over the keeper. Nowhere near target, Vilakazi. It's got a beautiful goal, of course, against Bloemfontein Celtic.
This is Nazir Ali. Ivanovs and Deschamps, they need to get this forward, Ajax. Shabalala. Kale. Prepared to take on Zwane. The cover defense provided by Musonda. Now the pressure. And Davids takes it away. Looking to get himself into a goal-scoring position. And Nyakani. Tom plays it forward. Cut out by Deschamps. This is better stuff from Ajax. Nazir Ali again. They get a second bite at the cherry here. Out to Samich Doti. Alexander into the middle, up to Selawani. Now Davids with a long-range shot that goes over the top. So they are prepared to pepper the Arrows' goal with whatever they've got, but at the moment there's very little work for this Brazilian goalkeeper, Hilton da Roca.
That's his strength. Lance Davies played a powerful shot against Celtic, forcing a save out of Tinyap. Was in a good area this time around, but just couldn't get it on target. Nothing to worry for da Roca. But I think the good part is that he's not playing too defensive. Lance David able to go forward now, prepared to take the risk, joining in with the attack. But just unlucky, could not get his shot on target.
So it looks as if both teams are going to be making a change. Arrows warming up their first substitute of the game, who is Mshengu. And Maluleke looks as if he might be coming on for Ajax. It'll be their third and final change. Cross in the middle, Vinakazi in a bit of space. Well, he didn't anticipate that. It went over the head of Musonda. That was a best chance of the half so far. The reason he's been brought on is just that split second too late.
It is. I mean, it's a quality cross from Samir Duti. Bit of hesitation from the captain himself, Musonda. I thought Vilakazi should have done better. He should have pounced on the ball. Maybe a header is a better option for him. Or try to stretch his foot.
So Mshengu is on for Shange. This is the first change from Golden Arrows. And we stand by for Maluleke to make his entree as the third and final change for Ajax. He'll be thrust up front as well. Here goes Kale. Good challenge. Koboni with an excellent stop.
Did well, went for the ball, not the man.
Davids is given possession away as well, and Mshengu gets his first opportunity to get involved. Now Cole Alexander keeps on going, but they're just trying to take on far too many men. In fact, he's been given a free kick, Cole Alexander. Perhaps again a little fortuitous for Ajax. There's the challenge. Studs were showing from Zwane, so it was a good decision from Mr. Kubule. He did look to have lost the ball here.
Great decision from the referee. Well spotted, was prepared to allow advantage.
Duty takes it into that penalty area. Ivanovs, chance for him to make up for the earlier error, but da Roca got there first. There's Eduardo Ferreira, of course, the Brazilian defender of Ajax, who's out with injury, misses this game, as he has the last couple of matches for the Cape Town club. He'll be joining Sundowns at the midpoint of the season.
This is one of the finals that he would have wanted to say bye-bye to the Ajax fans.
Back again. Hans Vonk will look again to thread it forward here. Didn't get as much on the ball as he would have liked. Nyakani in. Duty. Now with Kale. Long-range shot from Franklin Kale, well over the top.
Shot hit out of frustration, of course. Hasn't had that much space. Got one on target in the second half. Nothing to worry for da Roca. But you can see the frustration that he's having. Not given enough space.
Not a happy bunch of fans. So the last change for Ajax, Maluleke, who joined from Supersport United at the start of the season, will be replacing Samich Doti, who, it must be said, been fairly ineffective in tonight's game.
That change would mean that George Maluleke will play alongside Villagazi. They've pushed Cole Alexander onto the right-hand side. Again, it's one of those gambles that they're prepared to take.
Shabalala, the makeshift left back. And Richard Henyekani, last season's leading goal scorer and the scorer of tonight's third goal, just minutes into the second half, as Ajax was seeking to launch a comeback. So Arrows took the sting out of any proposed attack. Selowani, they're able to drift a little further back now with Maluleke forward. This is Alexander. Cut out by Tom, and then possession returned by Ali. Ivanovs turn from Lance Davids, just protecting the ball. Maluleke. And here's the quick counter. The run is on for Mshengo, gets past Shabalala. He's one-on-one with the keeper. It's number 4. They're running away with it tonight. Mshengo, the substitute, has made it Arrows 4, Ajax 0.
It's a perfect substitution. We always felt that they're likely to score the fourth goal because Ajax are focusing on going forward, and they're always likely to get punished. And they got punished. If you look at how they got dispossessed, you look at the run, the dummy run that Richard Henyekani made, and thus allowing this man. You look at this one here, quality ball played behind Shabalala, and we said he's the weak link. What a finish, kept it on the ground, quality ball delivered. Look at this finish, power behind the ball. He knew what he wanted to do, placed the ball, shown his composure. No chance for Hans Fong. It's a superb goal, a perfect substitution. Look at him, almost fell, stuck to his ground. Quality finishing.
There's the reaction off the bench. Arrows celebrate yet again. Mshengo with a caution as well for taking his shirt off. He won't mind too much about that. On for 4 minutes before adding a 4th goal to the Arrows tally. It's now 4-0 to the team from Durban, on their way to their first piece of major silverware.
I still get the feeling that there's goal number 5 coming.
Well, there's not much more they can do. 3 substitutions have all been made. Eduardo Ferreira on the right-hand side. We'll ponder what impact he might have had on the game had he been fit. Really has been an emphatic showing tonight from Golden Arrows.
There's going to be parties all over the show. I'm not too sure whether those ladies are dancing because they've always been Arrows fans.
Well, they will be after this performance tonight. An interesting game next Saturday at Newlands when Ajax take on Arrows again in the league. Vilakazi with a pass a little too strong there for Selowani. Pressure on from Maluleke, but clearance is competently done by Sangweni. Well, it's a party atmosphere already. If you're an Arrows fan, there's a whole block of Ajax supporters across from us who are looking decidedly glum, but well, they'll appreciate that their team was certainly outplayed here tonight. Maybe a consolation to lift their spirits, but there's not much happening there in terms of enthusiasm. The whole crowd now is bouncing up and down, except for those who support the team in red and white.
It's exciting stuff. The whole crowd, except, of course, the Ajax fans. It's beautiful scenes. We've been entertained, quality football from Arrows.
And they've got a good 20 minutes now just to savor the atmosphere. Look for more, of course. Nyakani looking to play it wide to his brother, but hit it against Deschamps.
If you look at the scenario with this Ajax team now, for me it looks balanced because you've got two outright strikers, you've got opportunities, you've got Alexander Cole playing on the right hand side, and perhaps that would have been a better option to play it open as opposed to playing it with three midfielders, defensive ones. We've got Robeni, we had also Chabalala and Lance David. For me it wasn't going to work out with Serrero playing as a lone striker.
Play on, says the referee. Tough challenge from Davids in the middle. Maluleke is going to be in trouble here as well. Yellow card for him. No point in arguing with the referee either. I think Davids is a little bit lucky to not get into trouble for this one either. This is Maluleke. The studs up on Nyakani. No doubt about the cause and outcome of that decision.
Well, much as this one is justified, I thought Lance David as well should have had a yellow card. That to me is a complete illegal challenge with stats up, no intention to go for the ball.
20 minutes remain. You wonder, Brian, whether Ajax would ever worry about watching the video of this again. Probably stick it away, look to forget it. They've got a league campaign now to worry about. Morocco Swallows and Arrows home in their next two matches. They can fight their way back up amongst the front runners. But I think this is a game that they know is now some 20 minutes from completion, and they'll look to forget all about it. Shengu, Nyakani. Burst of pace from him across the face of goal, and it hit Ivanovs. Kale. Vilakazi, little touch for Maluleke. Good challenge from Sangweni. He wants to join in on the act now as well. Over the top for Sangweni. This is great football. Well, he didn't get the touch to take it around the goalkeeper.
He wanted to take it with his chest. Quality ball played for him by Zotwane.
They all want to get in on the act now, even the central defenders. Kale. Nyakani. Shabalala's caught out of position in that left back role. Nana. They're queuing up now, and Nazir Ali will clear only as far as Nyakani. Laying it back. It's all too easy for Golden Arrows at the moment. Here's Tom up against Nazir Ali. Good challenge. Cole Alexander finds Maluleke. Vilakazi going into space. Good challenge from Musonda, the captain. Well, it looks as Arrows are just going to play it out now and enjoy themselves in the closing stages of this cup final. Tom across. Shabalala will clear. Nyakani had set off a little too early. Selawani took his eye off the ball. Mshengu, great stuff again. He has another opportunity. Goal number 5. What a game. One-way traffic, and Golden Arrows go even further ahead.
It's a quality goal once more. We did mention that we have a sense that there's goal number 5 coming. I hear people saying Chisampama. It is goal number 5. But what's going to be interesting, it's the build-up towards this goal. You look at the passing, the running of the ball, the finish, magnificent. From a talented midfielder, Zotwane, coming deep from the midfield. And what a technique that is applied to make sure that it comes out clinical. Look at this running, good touches, great technique, kept it tight. Again, power behind the ball, no chance for Hanspong. Look at the running, continued the run. Dipse Sululane wanted to foul him. Under pressure as well, still managed to get an angle and no chance for Hanspong. Quality goal from Zotwane.
Great finishing from Zotwane, and it was perfect placement here as well. 5 goals, what a cup final. for Arrows. We have not seen as dominant a performance as this for some 15 years or so, when Kaizer Chiefs put Jomo Cosmos to the sword. Should they get a sixth, that will be a record in a South African Cup final. It's now Arrows 5, Ajax 0.
You start looking at the fitness Arrows, you can tell that in terms of fitness, the fitness is quite high. Ajax are beginning to tire.
Selolwani. Alexander looking for Vilakazi. What a rout. They're going to fill the Sunday pages tomorrow, those newspapers that haven't gone to bed already, with the stoppage. Well, you must give credit to John Kamitas, the Ajax chairman, who said he's worried about the sporting element of the game, and Arrows with that 2-goal lead at half-time, how they would be affected by the stoppage. Well, his answer has been quite emphatic.
I think he was only hoping that the score will end with the 2-0. Little did he know that it's going to be a routing with 5 goals now scored, with a possibility, I'll say it again, with the possibility of goal number 6.
Oh, that's a very strong possibility. There are 15 minutes remaining. We're going to have another yellow card here for Nazir Ali's challenge on Montana.
He's getting frustrated.
Well, there were no yellows in the first half, and now we've had 4 in the second, 3 for Ajax and 1 for Mshengu for taking his shirt off after celebrating his goal. A change coming up for Golden Arrows, and it's the goal hero Richard Henyakane who's going to depart with, I think, the applause of the crowd ringing in his ears. Francis Kombe, the Zambian, will come on. So a little bit of playing time for him, and Henyakane leaves the scene of a superb individual performance tonight, and Francis Kombe on in his place.
A good thing with Richard Henyakane is the runs that he made in the first half. Missed some chances but never gave up, and finally getting that what looked like an easy tap for him, but it's because of the runs and the presence of mind, anticipation, of course, that that ball could ricochet from the goalkeeper.
Andrew Reeses from the Eastern Cape is the linesman on the near side here. Some suggestions, Brian, that they stick this whole Golden Arrow side in the Bafana kit for the next match. There's 2 Zambians in it, though. You'd have to take them out of the equation.
That's asking too much.
Bilankulu is also on the park. Run for the defender who has been such a stalwart of the side.
Well, this is the ways from the coach, who says that perhaps we're going to need him at some point to stabilize things in the middle, and that's what they need, to stabilize things in the middle but continue to make the runs and hopefully, you know, get goal number 6. But he brings in that stability, that experience as well in the midfield, Bilankulu.
So all 3 changes made it. Bilankulu for Zotwane after he scored the 5th. Kombe following in place of Henyakane, and David's in trouble here. Oh, he gets the free kick. And of course Mshengu coming on earlier on for Shange. I'm not too sure what the symbolism of that is. I get the bread story, Brian, but the baby with a bottle, that's something different.
Well, perhaps they're saying Swallows, you still the babies, Pirates, Chiefs, we are the stronger ones. We're playing here next week.
Swallows can point to that 2-1 win at the weekend over Chiefs, and who the babies then? Now Mankana brought down, and Selwani with a little chat. Remember, he's on 2 yellows, so he would miss the Swallows game on Wednesday night, were he to be booked. But no card coming out of the referee's pocket on that occasion. 11 minutes left to play. You wonder at 5-0 whether Mr. Kubule will worry too much about stoppage time towards the end of the game. We did have Enyakani go off on the stretcher. Ajax have only committed 6 fouls in this game, by the way. They've got 3 yellow cards for their trouble. Into the middle, chance, and it was taken off the head of Richard Enyakani by Kombe.
Well, it was a good positioning from Joseph. If you look at his positioning there, good positioning, but some great defending. It's Musonda's cross, but just that touch, so vital.
In fact, it was Ivanovs who managed to steer it away from the 2 Arrows men who were lurking ominously at the back post. Musonda throws it in. Ghana tries the shot. It'll be an Ajax throw-in.
I think in the minds of the Ajax players, it's just hoping that and wishing that they could just at least get 1 goal.
Well, we know where the 8 million rand is going. Whoever has to fill in that check can start writing now. 10 minutes to go. Ajax need 5 goals to force us into extra time. Prolong what has been already a late night. We had that long break at the start of the second half because the lights went out. The lights have gone out on Ajax tonight too. Maluleke with Cole Alexander. Blocked by Bilankulu. Well, they've not had much to celebrate over the years, Arrows. How things are changing tonight. Here comes Cole Alexander onto the edge of the area. Selwani wasn't about to shoot with the right. Maluleke waits for support. Now Ali, little chip inside. Selwani comes, but the keeper got there first. Early ball as well. Francis Kombe. Mankana to the back post. Chance for number 6. That's a good save, actually. On target again, Kubone. They have hardly put an effort wide of goal in this game.
Look at this quality ball. Great header.
It's the upright,
it just hits the upright. There's no chance for Hans Fonk. They've got him out of position. What a header.
Off the upright and onto the goalkeeper and away for a corner. That's how close it was to number 6. So the corner kick floated to the back post. Free header again. They're queuing up. And Bilankulu was it who missed it.
He scored one of the most important goals for them against Free State Stars, which got them as far as the semi-final, but he should have done better inside the 16 area. Look at the marking. Poor marking. Non-existent in terms of defending, but as for Bilankulu, he should have done better.
Look at the goal attempts for Arrows. I think what's more important is that they've almost got 50% of them on target. 5 of them into the back of the net. Deschamps providing the cover here. Fonk will clear. Up to Vilakazi. Desperately disappointing, I think, for the Ajax people, and their fans are beginning now to fade away. But Golden Arrows will celebrate a one-sided win tonight, and how deserved they will be when that trophy is eventually lifted by Joseph Musonda later on tonight. Over the head of Vilakazi. That about sums it up for Ajax in attack this evening. Again, a bit of space for him around that penalty circle, but he's made no impact since coming on at half-time.
He had managed to, pin off from Musonda. He's got a beautiful one last week. Could not even make contact with the quality ball played for him. He spoke about the coach or the players the Ajax players who possibly would not even want to see this tape. I tell you what, the new coach himself will take this tape, study it, because it's important for him to build on and make sure that he understands the players, the quality that he's got in the team.
Well, he's here tonight, and he'll be taking notes as he did in midweek when they beat Bloemfontein Celtic. Or at the weekend, rather. Shabalala with a strong and somewhat clumsy challenge there on Zwane, the fullback.
That's a bookable offense. Going straight for the ankle.
Well, that lady's got the pen out. She had, I think, Pirates backing Abafana Bestende originally, and now she's got the pen out and wants the Arrows coach to take the Bafana job. Well, you're about 24 hours too late, lady, but good suggestion.
Maybe the technical team of Bafana Bafana.
Sangweni's clearance. Round about now, they'll be down in the tunnel getting things ready for the presentation. We're going through the final 5 minutes here as Arrows look for a 6th goal, which will be a record for a cup final in South Africa. Maluleke. There have been bigger wins on aggregate over the years, but not in a single game have we seen a side win by 6 clear goals. Flag was up for offside. So John Komitis can just reflect on progress to the final and not much more. That 8 million jackpot is out the window. Back to the drawing board for their next game and the rest of the season. Of course, 2 more cup competitions to still be decided. They'll both start after the league is concluded in February. The Telkom knockout will be followed by the Nedbank Cup. But the league will be the focus for everyone now after the conclusion of tonight's MTN 8. Arrows only qualifying for this top 8 competition for the 3rd time this year. No way through for Franklin Kale, and away comes Musonda. A little too late with that ball, but he's going to go on his own. Up against Ivanovs. Musonda now, can he get it into Kombe? Chance for number 6, he's missed the glorious chance.
That's an embarrassing moment for Kombe. What an effort as well from the captain himself, taking the initiative, making a solo run, but spotting Kombe well positioned, and that would have been an easy tap for him.
Great run from Musonda. He might as well have gone himself. He was right through. Let's have a look at it again, Brian.
And look at the great vision in front of him. I think he opened his foot too wide. It was a good technique in terms of choosing to play it with the instep. But he should have had his name on the register. Suppose celebrated too early before he actually got it right.
Now Kale floats it towards Maluleke. 2 minutes remaining. Jan Train will go back to his job as the head of the academy and youth development at Ajax. He's produced some fine players over the last couple of years, and there are many more waiting in the wings. I wonder if Mushin Ertegal hadn't left a week or so ago, would things have turned a little different here tonight?
Well, it's possible that perhaps could have done better because he understands the players, he's able to bring the best of them. Build a strong rapport.
Would he have been sitting as calmly as young Crane on the bench? 5-0 down. It could be 6 now. Shot is blocked by Shabalala.
There's enough time to bring it down. Chose to go first time around.
Yes, Selolwani. Is this a consolation opportunity? Vilakazi in there, and Bilankulu got a little touch. Well, they beat them 4-0 in the league last season, did Arrows. They've added one more here, and they're looking to make it 6. This is Kombe. 3 Arrows players up front against 3 defenders. Deschamps will come away with it.
He tried to get fancy, Kombe. That ball that he played there, if he just looked up properly and chose to play it on the path of the oncoming Mangana, that would have been a better delivery.
There's Mangana. Tight angle. Is that number 6? Yes, it is. He has scored a remarkable finishing goal.
That's a beauty. That's the cherry on top. And that's the 6th goal that we've been talking about. And it came in the most fashionable way. A swift finish. You've got to give it to him. The skill that is shown. Tight angle. It's one of the best goals for this evening. The finishing from the likes of Richard Henyekane, but this one, it's the cherry on top.
Stunning goal to conclude an emphatic one-sided performance. Jabulu Mankana with his 2nd of the night. A superb little dink, full of confidence.
I mean, look at the skill as well. Difficult one.
The spin.
The spin on the ball. He put the spin. Look, it's an awkward angle, but look at the skin and the spin on it. And all they had to do was just to watch the ball stall into an empty net. Cannot believe it, can they?
Look at the reaction from Deschamps, the defender. He thought they was going wide. Little burst of pace. There's the backspin. It curls and curls off the upright and into the back of the net. Arrows 6. Ajax 0.
Homebrew talent.
So, 1 minute and 30 seconds of stoppage time already played by Mr. Kubule. A record scoreline in a South African Cup final established here tonight by Lamontville Golden Arrows. Well, there's going to be a big one. I can tell you where it is. It's in Umlazi, Lamontville.
There's probably another one. What the?
Ali. Is there going to be a consolation in these final seconds for the side from Cape Town?
Doesn't look like it.
I'll tell you what, they might have the big derby coming up next Saturday, but I wouldn't mind going to watch Arrows Ajax again in Newlands. I think that's going to be an intriguing game.
That'll be a grudge match.
Cole Alexander, Vilakazi, Davids. Ajax cannot wait for the whistle to put them out of their misery. Mr. Kubule has now played 2.5 minutes of stoppage time. Franklin Kale. Selolwani. Kale. Well, there we go. That sums it all up, doesn't it? A desperate night for Ajax Cape Town and a glorious evening for Lamontville Golden Arrows.
All the tactics gone wrong for Ajax. Did not have the best start. The ending as well. Just didn't gel as a team.
There it is. It's all over. It's been a remarkable cup final. The Lamontville Golden Arrows have won the 8 million rand jackpot here. They are victors in the MTN 8. They haven't won. They have won emphatically. 6-0. It's been a remarkable night of football. Celebrations will start now for Mangoba Mliti and his team. You can see the celebrations out on the pitch. 90 minutes they were emphatic. The pace up front caught Ajax napping on not one, but 6 different occasions. And Arrows have certainly written themselves into the history books tonight with arguably one of the finest performances we've seen in a title-deciding match for absolute years in South African football. Long faces for Ajax. It's best they forget about this. A night that will not resound in their club history, but for Le Montfort Golden Arrows, absolutely emphatic.
It's a game plan well executed. They knew how they approached this game. Slow build-ups, acceleration up front, good goals. The opening goal, of course, quality delivery from Zimtukulu Tom, who provided the goal to Mangana. A swift finish for him. The cherry on top, of course, was the last goal that he scored. What a finishing. But it all worked well. They dominated the midfield, created the chances, they made the positive runs, and when it came to the finishing, they were clinical around the 18 area. But as for Ajax, lots of work to be done. We've seen the potential of the 2 central defenders, but perhaps this was the wrong game for them to showcase their abilities, and they got exposed as a central pair. And the absence of the captain himself, Evans, a downward for Ajax, because they got exposed on the left-hand side, where Shabalala was also thrown into that position, got exposed, and up front they lacked the firepower. They went for a wrong formation in terms of playing 3 midfielders, and Ngobeni was not at his best, so was Lance Davids and Dipi Sululwane. But in the end, it worked well for Golden Arrows. Clinical finish, solid performance.
There they are celebrating. I don't see the modest Mangoba Ngiti amongst that crowd. I think he's a man who will reflect somewhat soberly on this performance. He has certainly written his name into the history books tonight, guiding his side to their first ever title. So Arrows have beaten Ajax by 6-0. They are the winners of the MTN 8. But he'll have a smile on his face tonight. And then, of course, Mangoba Ngiti, who has missed out on the medals, it would seem. He's arrived a little bit too late there. The ladies have disappeared, so he's just going to make his way onto the stage. I hope someone will give him a medal. Some of the youngsters as well who have come from their junior sides, the backup squad players. There is the trophy, and there are the winners of the MTN 8 Golden Arrows from Durban. A first cup final, a first trophy, $8 million in the pocket. What a night for football, Brian Mate.
A beautiful night for football, quality goals as well, and the crowd came out in numbers. It's a good spectacle for football.